My business partner stole everything. You won't believe what happened. Imagine this. You've spent years building something from the ground up. A business, a dream, your life's work. You've poured your heart, soul, and every waking hour into making it successful. But then, out of nowhere, the person you trusted most, your business partner, stabs you in the back, takes everything, and leaves you with nothing. This is the story of OP, a dedicated entrepreneur who put everything into a business venture with someone she thought was a close friend. But as success grew, so did the greed. And before she knew it, the person she trusted most had double-crossed her, taking control of the company they built together and leaving her in ruins. By the end of this story, you'll be asking yourself, how could someone do this to a friend and partner? Could you ever trust again after being betrayed so deeply? Let's dive into this dramatic tale of ambition, greed, and ultimate betrayal. OP had always been ambitious. From a young age, she knew she wanted to create something of her own, to build a business that not only made money, but also made a difference in the world. She wasn't afraid of hard work. In fact, she thrived on it. And after years of saving, planning, and dreaming, she was finally ready to take the plunge. OP's idea was simple yet powerful, a business that would provide innovative solutions to a common problem. She knew there was a gap in the market, and she was determined to fill it. But starting a business is never easy, and OP quickly realized she couldn't do it all on her own. That's when she met John, the man who would eventually become her business partner, and later her greatest regret. John was smart, charismatic, and driven, everything OP thought she needed in a business partner. They had met through a mutual friend at a networking event, and the connection was immediate. John had experience in the industry, and he seemed to understand OP's vision in a way that no one else did. He offered to invest not only money but also his expertise, and for OP it seemed like the perfect match. They quickly became partners, with John handling the financial and operational side of the business, while OP focused on product development, marketing, and customer relations. It was a division of labor that worked well, and for the first few years, everything seemed to be going perfectly. The business took off faster than either of them had expected. Within a few short years, they had a growing customer base, strong revenue, and even interest from potential investors. OP was thrilled. This was everything she had dreamed of. She and John had built something incredible together, and she trusted him implicitly. But as the company grew, so did the stakes. And that's when the first cracks began to show. At first, it was little things that seemed insignificant at the time, but in hindsight, were red flags. John started taking more control over decisions that had previously been shared. He'd tell OP that it was better for efficiency, or that he just wanted to make things easier for her. OP, trusting her partner, didn't think much of it. After all, they had built the business together, and John had always been good at handling the operational side. But over time, she noticed that John was slowly cutting her out of key meetings, making decisions without consulting her, and taking credit for things she had worked on. Then there were the financials. OP had always had access to the company's financial records, but one day, John told her that he had hired a new accountant and that she didn't need to worry about the day-to-day numbers anymore. He assured her that everything was under control, that they were more profitable than ever, and that she should focus on growing the business. OP didn't push back. Why would she? She trusted John, and she was busy with other aspects of the company. But that gnawing feeling in her gut told her something wasn't right. John had become more secretive, more controlling, and less open with her about the company's direction. It wasn't just about the business anymore. There was something else going on beneath the surface. Things took a turn when OP overheard a conversation between John and one of their investors. It was late one evening after a long day at the office, and OP had come back to grab something she had forgotten. She walked into the office just as John was speaking with the investor, and what she heard made her blood run cold. John was talking about the company as if it were his own. He was discussing plans to take things in a new direction and making it sound like OP was a minor player in the business, a mere employee, not a co-founder. He even mentioned that he was thinking about buying her out, something he had never discussed with OP. OP felt blindsided. How long had John been planning this? Why hadn't he told her about any of these plans? She confronted him the next day, asking him what was going on. John, ever the smooth talker, brushed it off as a misunderstanding. He told her that he was just thinking out loud and that nothing was set in stone. He assured her that they were still partners and that he valued her contribution to the business. But OP couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. John had always been a bit of a smooth talker, but this felt different. She started paying closer attention, looking for more signs that John was hiding something from her. And the more she looked, the more she found. Have you ever had that sinking feeling that something was off but you didn't want to believe it? That's exactly where OP found herself, caught between the desire to trust her partner and the growing evidence that he was planning something behind her back. What would you do if you were in her shoes? The final blow came one day when OP tried to access the company's financial records, only to find that her access had been revoked. Confused, she called John to ask what was going on, but he didn't answer. She tried again and again, nothing. Panic started to set in. Why couldn't she access her own company's accounts? Feeling uneasy, OP drove to the office, determined to get answers. When she arrived, she was met with another shock. Her keycard didn't work. She couldn't get into the building that she had helped build. OP was locked out of her own company. That's when it all became clear. OP contacted their lawyer, and what she found out shook her to the core. John had been quietly moving assets, signing contracts without her knowledge, and slowly edging her out of the business. Over the past few months, he had been positioning himself as the sole owner, using loopholes in their partnership agreement to take control. And now, legally, OP had almost no claim to the company she had built from the ground up. OP's world came crashing down. Everything she had worked for, everything she had sacrificed, had been taken from her by the person she had trusted the most. John had betrayed her in the worst way possible. He had stolen her dream, her livelihood, and left her with nothing. OP finally confronted John, demanding answers. She asked him how he could do this to her, how he could betray her after everything they had built together. John, cold and calculating, didn't even flinch. He told her that it was just business, that he had to make a decision for the future of the company, and that she wasn't cut out to handle the next phase of growth. OP was stunned. How could he say that? She had been there every step of the way, building the company with him, making sacrifices, working endless hours. And now, he was dismissing her like she was nothing more than an inconvenience. John didn't apologize, didn't show any remorse. To him, this was just a business move, a way to get ahead. OP felt like her entire world had collapsed. The betrayal wasn't just about the money or the business, it was about trust. She had believed in John, had trusted him with her dream, and he had destroyed everything they had built together. OP didn't just lose her company, she lost her sense of self, her confidence, and her belief in people. What would you do if someone you trusted completely betrayed you like this? Could you ever forgive them? Could you ever rebuild after losing everything? OP was left with nothing, and the person responsible didn't even seem to care. In the weeks and months following the betrayal, OP was a shell of herself. She couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't think straight. Everywhere she looked, she was reminded of the company she had built, the dream that had been ripped away from her. She felt like a failure, like she had been played for a fool. How had she not seen this coming? How had she let John manipulate her like this? The financial fallout was devastating. Without the business, OP had no income, no safety net. She had put everything she had into the company, trusting that it would pay off in the long run. Now she was left with nothing. The bills started piling up, and OP didn't know how she was going to make ends meet. OP decided to fight back. She hired a lawyer and began the long, grueling process of trying to reclaim what was rightfully hers. But it wasn't easy. John had been smart. He had covered his tracks well, using legal loopholes and shady tactics to ensure that OP had little recourse. The legal battle dragged on for months, draining what little money OP had left, and in the end, she barely recovered a fraction of what she had lost. But the legal battle was nothing compared to the emotional toll. OP had lost more than just a business. She had lost her sense of trust, her belief in people. She couldn't stop thinking about how John had betrayed her, how he had looked her in the eye and taken everything from her without a second thought. It made her question everything: her judgment, her ability to trust, her own self-worth. OP felt completely alone. Her friends and family tried to support her, but they didn't fully understand the depth of her pain. They saw the financial loss, but they didn't see the emotional scars. OP had built her identity around the business, and now that it was gone, she didn't know who she was anymore. The betrayal had left her feeling empty, like a part of her had been stolen along with the company. Have you ever experienced a betrayal so deep that it left you questioning everything? Your choices, your trust, your sense of self? That's where OP was, and she didn't know how to move forward. How do you rebuild after losing everything? After months of wallowing in despair, OP realized something. She couldn't let John's betrayal define her. Yes, he had taken everything from her, but he hadn't taken her ability to rebuild. OP was a fighter, and she wasn't going to let this be the end of her story. She had worked too hard, sacrificed too much, to let one person's greed destroy her forever. Slowly but surely, OP began to pick herself up. She started small, reaching out to old contacts, getting involved in industry events, and brainstorming new business ideas. It wasn't easy, and there were days when she wanted to give up. But OP had a fire inside her that couldn't be extinguished. She wasn't going to let John win. One of the hardest parts of the recovery process was rebuilding her confidence. John's betrayal had left OP feeling like she wasn't good enough, like she wasn't capable of running a successful business. But as she started reconnecting with people in the industry, she realized that wasn't true. She was capable, she was smart, and she had built something incredible. John had just taken advantage of her trust. As OP began to regain her footing, new opportunities started to come her way. Old clients who had respected her work reached out, offering her new projects. Colleagues who had seen her determination and work ethic encouraged her to start something new. Slowly but surely, OP began to rebuild. Not just a business, but her sense of self-worth. It wasn't easy, and it took time, but OP was determined to come back stronger than ever. She had learned valuable lessons from the betrayal. Lessons about trust, about protecting herself, and about never letting anyone take control of her dream again. Have you ever had to rebuild after losing everything? How did you find the strength to keep going, even when it felt impossible? OP was on the road to recovery, but the journey was long and filled with challenges. With time, OP was ready to start over. She had learned from her mistakes and was determined to do things differently this time. She started a new business, a venture that combined her passion with the lessons she had learned from her previous experience. This time, she made sure to protect herself legally, financially, and emotionally. No one was going to take this from her. The new business wasn't an overnight success, but OP wasn't looking for instant gratification. She was focused on building something sustainable, something she could be proud of. She put in the same hard work and dedication that she had before, but this time she was smarter. She made sure she had control, that she was the one making decisions, and that no one could take advantage of her. As OP's new business began to grow, she realized something important. The betrayal that had nearly destroyed her had also made her stronger. It had taught her who she could trust, who she couldn't. And most importantly, it had taught her to trust herself. She didn't need someone like John to make her successful. She had all the tools she needed within herself. OP's comeback was about more than just business success. It was about reclaiming her power, her confidence, and her sense of self. She no longer saw herself as a victim of John's betrayal. She saw herself as a survivor, someone who had been through the fire and come out the other side stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. By the time OP's new business was thriving, she realized that she didn't need revenge on John. She didn't need to get back at him or make him pay. The best revenge was her success, her happiness, and the fact that she had rebuilt her life without him. OP had taken back control, and that was the greatest victory of all. Have you ever had a comeback after a major setback? How did it feel to reclaim your power and rebuild your life on your own terms? OP had gone through hell, but she had come out the other side stronger than ever. So what do you think? Was OP wrong to trust John in the first place? Or was she simply a victim of his greed? Sometimes we give our trust to the wrong people, but that doesn't mean we can't rebuild after a betrayal. OP learned the hard way, but in the end, she came out stronger. I'd love to hear what you think. Could you ever trust again after a betrayal like this? Would you have fought back the way OP did, or would you have walked away? Let me know in the comments below. John's betrayal is pure evil. How could he steal everything OP worked for? This is the kind of betrayal that leaves scars for life. OP built that company from the ground up, sacrificed everything to make it successful, and John swoops in and just takes it all? He didn't just take her business. He took her trust, her dream, and everything she poured her heart into. I hope OP gets her revenge, because this is unforgivable. Totally agree. It's not just about the money or the business. It's the fact that John acted like a friend, someone OP could trust, and then stabbed her in the back the moment he saw a chance for more power. This isn't just business. It's personal betrayal on the highest level. OP trusted him with everything, and he used that trust to destroy her. I can't imagine how heartbreaking it must be to lose not only your business, but also the person you thought had your back. John deserves to be taken down for what he did. This kind of betrayal is the stuff nightmares are made of. OP needs to pick up the pieces and make sure John never forgets what he did to her. Karma's going to catch up to him one way or another. I can't believe how cold and calculated John was. Just business? Are you kidding me? He manipulated OP and took everything she worked for. There's no coming back from that. OP's better off without someone like him in her life. OP is stronger than she knows. She will rise again. This story may be heartbreaking, but OP has the strength to rebuild her life. It takes incredible resilience to go through something like this and still find the courage to start over. John may have taken everything from her, but he can't take away her talent, her drive, or her spirit. OP is going to come back stronger, and I'm rooting for her all the way. Absolutely. OP's determination to rebuild shows that she's not letting John's betrayal define her. She's taking back control of her life, and that's the ultimate victory. It's not about revenge. It's about proving that she can rise above this. OP's strength is so inspiring. She could have given up, but instead she's using this experience to come back even stronger. Her success will be the best revenge on John, and I can't wait for that moment when she realizes how far she's come. It's so powerful that OP is focusing on herself, on healing and starting anew. She doesn't need John or anyone else to succeed. She's got all the tools she needs to build something even bigger and better. Her comeback story is going to be legendary. This is why you can't keep a strong person down. OP might have lost her company, but she's gained a new sense of strength and determination. Sometimes the worst moments lead to the greatest triumphs, and I believe that's what's in store for her. John is a manipulative snake. OP deserves justice. I am seething for OP. The way John orchestrated everything behind her back is beyond evil. He manipulated her into trusting him, slowly took over every part of the business, and then locked her out of the very thing she built. If there's any justice in this world, OP will find a way to make him pay for what he did. Yes! John didn't just betray OP. He meticulously planned it out, making sure she had no idea what was happening until it was too late. It's scary how calculated his moves were. OP deserves every bit of success she's going to get after this mess. John is pure poison. To think that OP trusted him so completely, only for him to backstab her like this, is infuriating. She deserves to win her legal battle and get back everything he took from her. No one should get away with that level of betrayal. It's terrifying how some people can seem so trustworthy and then pull something like this. John didn't just steal the business. He stole her trust and security. OP needs to rebuild, but she also needs justice for everything she's been through. I hope OP's new business thrives and that John watches her soar while his greed brings him down. Sometimes karma takes its time, but it always catches up. OP is going to rise above this, and John will get what's coming to him. OP's comeback will be her greatest victory. The best revenge is success, and OP is well on her way to achieving that. The fact that she didn't let John's betrayal destroy her spirit speaks volumes about her strength. She's starting over, learning from her mistakes and building something even better. OP's new business is going to flourish, and John is going to regret ever crossing her. Couldn't agree more. OP is going to come out of this stronger than ever. John may have tried to break her, but she's already showing him that she's unstoppable. Her success will be the best kind of revenge. This story is the ultimate phoenix rising from the ashes moment. OP is taking back her power, and there's no doubt that her new venture will be even more successful than the last. She's unstoppable now. OP's resilience is inspiring. The fact that she's not letting this betrayal define her, but instead using it to fuel her next chapter, shows how strong she really is. John has no idea what he's unleashed. She's going to rise to new heights. OP is proving that no one can take away your power unless you let them. She's already showing that she's not going to be a victim of this betrayal. She's going to thrive, and John is going to watch her succeed without him. Betrayed but not broken. OP's strength is incredible. What I admire most about OP is that she didn't let this betrayal break her. Yes, she was devastated. And yes, she lost everything she worked for. But she didn't stay down. She fought back, rebuilt her life, and showed John that she was stronger than his lies and manipulations. Her strength is something to be admired. So true, OP may have been knocked down, but she didn't stay there. She picked herself back up and is creating something even more amazing. It's her strength that's going to carry her through this, not John's deceit. It's easy to feel defeated after something like this, but OP didn't let the betrayal define her. She's pushing through, rebuilding, and showing everyone that she's a force to be reckoned with. That takes incredible strength. OP's strength is what's going to make her successful again. She's not giving up, and that's what sets her apart. John may have thought he could crush her, but all he did was light a fire in her that's going to burn brighter than ever. This kind of strength comes from within. OP didn't just survive this betrayal. She's using it as fuel to build something even greater. That's how you take back your power. John has no idea who he messed with. The most devastating part isn't losing the business, it's losing trust. The worst part of this story isn't just that OP lost her company, it's that she lost her faith in someone she trusted deeply. That kind of betrayal cuts you to your core. I hope OP can heal from this and learn to trust again, even though it's going to be hard. Losing a business is one thing, but losing trust in people? That's even harder to recover from. Betrayal on this level shakes you to your foundation. It's not just about the financial loss. It's about questioning everything you thought you knew about the person. I can't imagine how OP will ever fully trust again after something like this. The trust is what hurts the most. When you build something with someone, you expect loyalty and honesty. OP lost her business, but the emotional damage of losing that trust is going to take longer to heal. I hope she finds peace. Exactly. Trust is everything in a partnership, and John shattered that. Even as OP rebuilds her life, it's going to be hard to ever trust someone again. Betrayal like this makes you question everyone. It's going to take time for OP to trust again, but she'll get there. She's already proving that she's strong enough to move forward. This betrayal won't define her. Her resilience will. Karma's coming for John. OP will succeed without him. John may have won in the short term, but karma is real, and it's coming for him. OP's new venture is going to soar, and John will be left watching from the sidelines. She's already proving that she didn't need him to be successful. He took the business, but he didn't take her talent, her vision, or her drive. She's going to be just fine. Karma always catches up. John's greed is going to backfire, and OP is going to rise above it all. Success will be the sweetest revenge, and OP is already on her way there. I couldn't agree more. John thinks he won, but OP's strength and resilience are going to carry her further than he ever could have imagined. Karma's coming for him, and OP's going to be the one who truly succeeds. OP is going to thrive, and John's going to regret ever underestimating her. His betrayal might have set her back, but it's also lit a fire in her that's going to push her to new heights. Watch out, John. Success is the best revenge, and OP's already on the path to it. John's betrayal was just the spark she needed to realize she's capable of so much more. He may have taken the company, but he'll never take her resilience. And if you found this story as powerful and emotional as I did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell for more stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.